into the justice coming your way for all the hard work that you have put in. Balance, harmony, peace, joy. Oh yeah, and before we get started with this reading, if you want to be able to make a purchase, you can find my Cash App and PayPal in the description box below. Send payment and then throw your question down below. My comments appear to be working pretty well today. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys so much for whatever support you send this way, whether it be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps on my other ones, donations, purchases. If you want to be able to donate, my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list, all down below. Thank you guys so much for that, and let's get started with this. So, peace and harmony. I feel like you are coming into balance with your shadow side and your light side, accepting both are a part of you and really allowing them to work together. And I feel like in doing this, you are also starting to accept that and love that about other people around you as well. When we are judging others, we are judging ourselves 10 times harsher. So anything that you've been judging yourself for, you've been dropping it. You've been letting it go. And you're going to start noticing that your perception of other people has shifted as you do this. You have Cancer. You are right on target. Your vision has never shifted or changed. Some of you are getting ready to step into the spotlight, quite literally. Some of you may actually be working on modeling or something along those lines. And you could have built up your own name beforehand, so you have something to add to the table when you come in to do your interviewing and stuff like that. Some of you may be getting ready to do some sort of rehearsal for something, or some of you could be getting ready to do some line reading. Your stubbornness, your strength, your work ethic, your caring, your concern, your compassion, your understanding, your heart is something that is very fully entering into this equation as well. Some of you have worked very hard to shift any pride or ego that has been getting in the way in your life so that you can see things a bit more clearly, so your stubbornness doesn't get in the way so much. You are transforming and coming out of your shell. You are ready to share the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding that you have gained with the world around you. You're ready to be seen. You're ready to be heard. You're ready to be felt when you walk into a room. You are no longer hiding your head in the sand. No longer chained down. Some of you could have broken free from certain people in your life as well. And if it's not people, then it could be certain circumstances. It could be addictions for some of you. No longer chained down, no longer held back, no longer tied down. You are free, and you have freed yourself. You have freed yourself one chain link at a time. You have disconnected and you have detached from certain situations or certain people, allowing those things to be what they are instead of what you want them to be. No longer held back. You are ready to show who you are. You're ready to step into that spotlight. You're ready to be seen. You're ready to be heard. Some of you could actually be, there could be a fashion designer here as well. And if you are somebody who has been working on some sort of creative vision or some sort of creative aspect, you have freed yourself and you have broken out of this fucking box of confinement that has kept you stifled for a long time. Your voice was stifled. Your vision was stifled. And it was stifled by yourself. It wasn't stifled by the people around you. You have finally got the concept that you were the one that was putting parts of yourself inside of a box. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter who validates you. It doesn't matter what opinions they got. What matters is whether or not you believe those things, whether or not you take those things to heart, and whether or not you shove half yourself in a box to appease the people around you, or whether or not you decide that I don't give a flying fuck what any of you think, I'm going to be who I'm going to be, and you can kiss my ass. And that's where you have got to in this moment, is you guys can all fuck off, because this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be. And as you do that, your stock is rising, your value is rising, your worth is rising, your confidence is rising. Everything within you is going from this very invisible energy to this very fully seen energy. In the past, you were only parts of yourself. If you notice, half of these arrows are kind of rubbed off on some of them. In the past, you were only half of yourself, but now you are stepping more fully into your full self. You are willing to take the risks. You're willing to be different. You're willing to stand out. And because of this energy, and because of this stubbornness inside of you, you're creating a lot of changes in your world around you as well. It's like a creature nobody's ever seen before. Like my little creature thing there. I have no idea what that thing is. It's a part cat, part other things. So, you have also really come to realize that that vampiric energy that everybody talks about all the time, they can only suck you up and drain your energy if you allow it. Really. So you're no longer putting the blame on other people. You're no longer playing the victim. You are stepping up into your fucking power, and you are deciding that I make the decisions in my life, and the decisions in my life lead me down the road that I'm walking on. And if I don't like this road, I can change roads at any time. And you become almost that vampire that everybody's talking about, because guess what? When you're not there to give all your energy to people, and all your time to people, and all your effort to people, they claim you're a vampire. That's what they do. When you decide to take back some of that, keep some of it for you, they claim you're selfish. They claim you're narcissistic. But that isn't the truth. What is the truth is that you have to take care of you too. There's a difference. Awesome. Thank you, beautiful. It's nice to see you today. Been missing your energy a little bit. And that raven always reminds me of the Lost Lenore too. Nevermore. Nevermore will you be knocking at my door. You're no longer going to be being haunted by the past either. Constantly feeling like it's following you around or hanging over your head in some way. I think it might have messed up that time too. Ooh. So, the words that you're speaking have not always been understood by everyone around you. I feel like you guys have worked very hard to upgrade your communication skills as well. Even though you just wish people could understand you, you still put in a lot of effort and time and energy towards improving your communication skills, towards removing any kind of confusion over what you're speaking on. And that is helping you to be able to speak to a wider variety of people. It's helping you to be able to connect to and relate to a much wider variety of people. Why phone? Because I know that's not the lens today, because it was just working just fine. Thank you. Anyway, it's helping you to be able to speak to and work with a much wider variety of people. This lack of judgment and this removal of your preconceived notions, this being able to see things from a different perspective on a regular basis, and this working on your communication is really helping that out. Sorry. I'm gonna get a drink. God, my dog, yesterday it figured out apparently how to honk the horn. I don't know if she knows yet or not, but she was bouncing around the car and bouncing on the horn. And then the next time I left them in the car and I was talking to my ex and my kids right across the way from us, and she hops up there on the horn and she's standing on the horn for like 10, 15 seconds. I'm like, really? Would you get off the horn? She has decided she can get my attention when I'm not in the car now. 1111. What is great about this is I've been seeing 1111 for days now. Last night I'm sitting at a stop sign getting ready to turn in. I look up and the house in front of me is 1111 and the letters on the side of it say this area of pictures here is the house. The letters on the side of it were probably a little bigger than these ones. It was probably like this big. Or the numbers, I guess. Abundance, good luck, fortune, on the right track, divine meaning. Everything falls into place, synchronicities. So everything at this current time is starting to shift and fall into place for you. Everything's starting to work out. Everything's starting to do good. Everything's starting to come up. I feel like a lot of my collective has probably been in similar energy to what I've been in for years. That stuck in poverty or stuck in illness or stuck in repeated connections or whatever the case may be, with people holding you down, holding you back, people that seemed like they were literally just hell-bent on destroying everything you were working on, people that didn't believe in you, people that told you were never going to amount to anything, people that walked away and did not have your back the way that you had their back. But everything at this current moment is falling into place for you. One of the big things that could have shifted or changed too is your viewpoint on addictions, or your viewpoint on different substances as well. First off, some of you could have went exploring and experimented with some of those things. There's nothing wrong with anything in moderation. As I've always stated on this channel, nothing in moderation is bad for you. But out of moderation, anything can be bad for you. And if you want my honesty, alcohol is probably worse than most of the drugs that are out there, other than maybe fentanyl and heroin. And that's about it that's worse than alcohol. There's not much that's worse than alcohol. And at the same time, having a drink once in a while isn't going to hurt nobody. And technically, having a glass of wine once in a while is actually good for you, like one glass of wine a week. But when you drink, say you drink beer all day, every day, not only does it kill your liver slowly, but it also is busy destroying your stomach every day of the week. Fucking up your digestion system. Think about if you just sat and ate a bunch of mold or mildew or, and that's kind of the same thing that's going on in your stomach with that beer. You got that fermentation going on. Most people who drink beer all day, every day, have a gut on them. And that's why. It's because of the fermentation. It's because of the gas going on. It's because of the toxicity going on within your stomach. But when you have a beer a couple times a week or something like that, or, a couple beers once a week or whatever the case may be, and it's in moderation like that, it's not something that is necessarily bad. And also, people who use substances aren't automatically evil either. Just throwing that out there. They aren't. And that's the way it is. Everybody has taken away their own power, and everybody has taken away everybody else's power, and everybody has told them they're powerless against all of these substances, but they're not. If somebody decides to rob their own fucking grandmother to pay for their fucking drugs, that's because that's who they are. That drug may have gave them a little boost of courage to go do it, but that's who they are. Period. Because not everybody that is doing that drug is going to go rob their own grandmother to get it. Even when it comes to my cigarettes, I generally, if I don't have them, I go and get them out of ashtrays, or I ask somebody. I don't go rob my own grandmother for them. And then people will be like, well, that's not as bad of an addiction. Well, fuck, it ain't. It's the only thing that I've had that problem with in my life. So yeah, it is a pretty bad addiction. But even with that one, technically, I still have the control, even if I've taken it out of my own hands, by telling myself, there's nothing I can do about it, or whatever the case may be. When it comes to food, you have MSG in food. That is literally an addictive substance that they have added to your food to make you addicted to it. Oh, really? Really? It's gonna start this shit again? That is not cool. Come on. Come on. It came back on for a sec. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my comments to come back on. I might just have to go make a part 2 for this video. After this first section, I'm going to make a part 2, so you can go ask your questions over there, Tori. That way, my comments are working again, because this is stupid. Anyway, you're really starting to see things differently and view things differently. A lot of things that you have been told all your life to believe in, you're finding them to be horseshit. And you are really breaking free of that fucking box that people have placed you in. A lot of you are taking the wisdom of another as well. Somebody may have actually given you some wisdom as well, and you have chosen to accept it instead of turning away from it. And this is what is helping you to transform and break free from these chains as well. So make sure that you are letting these people know how much you appreciate and value what they have to offer to the table. And so I'm going to go start that second half.